Hello everyone, Little Falls Community School Superintendent Stephen Jones with an update as we stand here 1 week removed from the start of the school year on September 7th and September 8th for the children in our district. I wanted to provide a much needed update for our protocols heading forward as we start school. Well, of course, this week we welcome our staff back into our district buildings. Lots of excitement, lots of energy. It's exactly what we would expect and what we're hoping for when we welcome our students back in person on Tuesday and Wednesday, September 7th and September 8th. Well, of course, the big question on everyone's mind is COVID. What are we going to do for COVID protocols? And from our initial responses a number of weeks ago, really nothing has changed at this point. And so I'll quickly review those COVID protocols, but hang around because there's other things that we need to talk about as well. So please hang in there with me on this video with some really important information. So as we've reiterated in the past and the school board has confirmed, it is our desire to start the school year without a mandatory face mask mandate. Face masks, face coverings would be encouraged by staff and students, but certainly not mandated at this point. However, on school bus transportation, because it is a federal mandate, masks and face coverings are mandatory on school buses. That's just the way it is. We can't debate that one here at the local level. We have some local control. That is not one that we can control, unfortunately, at this point. So a number of the other protocols that we've come to expect in school buildings and public buildings exists. We will be stressing social distancing again, regular hand washing. We'll have disinfectant stations again at all of our entrances. We'll have our temperature monitoring devices up and working. They are now, as they have been, at all of our buildings to take those daily temperatures of folks. Our cleaning protocols, which were upped in times of COVID, have continued to be at a much higher level. We need to reiterate, and I think our families did a great job of this last year. When students are ill, keep them home. When they're not feeling well, please keep them home. Please do not send them to school. You did a wonderful job with that last year. We had very little sickness in our buildings, not related to anything in the pandemic. And that was because you were so good at keeping the children home when they weren't feeling well. So thank you for that. Should we fall prey to some positive cases, we will again require students and staff to isolate if testing positive until their symptoms subside, having quarantined for at least 10 days, and they have not had a fever for the last 24 hours without medication. So again, those protocols will continue the same way. Now, I want to get into something that we want to make sure that a key word is understood, and that word is optional. Optional. And it has to do with testing, right? The district will provide what is called a Vault Saliva Zoom-enabled test for staff and students who want it, but it's optional. It is optional, and it will not be tested here in the school. So if a family desires that test for their child, or a staff member desires it, it is a Zoom-enabled test that is done in your home. We will provide it. We are not pushing it. If you want it, it's here, but it is optional. If a family wants those tests, they do it at their home, and then they bring it back to the school for us to send in to get the final results. So again, it's called a Vault Saliva Zoom-enabled test, and it is optional. Again, another bit of misinformation that is I've had to deal with a few times is vaccinations. This district is not mandating any kind of vaccination, so if you're hearing that, that's just simply not true. No vaccination of any kind is mandated by this school district. And so it leads us to the really important question. What about the future? And I really don't know. I don't know what the future is going to hold as we start the school year, and what it's going to mean in terms of infection rates in the county and ultimately in our school district. Just like the past 18 months, We all know, we've become familiar with the fact that it could change in a matter of a heartbeat. And our school district will be responsive to that change. And that may mean a change in protocols somewhere down the road. But if it is, it'll be done on the basis of health and safety. Just like the decisions we're making now, and our decisions today are made with this in mind. We know that through our experiences with COVID over the past 18 months, absolutely the best place for kids to be is in school. We need to get our kids in school, and that's what we're striving to do. And so our decisions are based off getting our kids in school. And so as the situation evolves through September and October, we may be called upon, based off health and safety, to make some changes. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I can tell you, as I've shared with a number of people, I'm starting my 10th year as a superintendent here in Little Falls Community Schools, and I hope that you would agree that throughout my tenure here, the health and safety and welfare of our children and staff has always been preeminent with me. That will continue. And unfortunately, we're dealing with an issue that has divided an awful lot of people. And I'm asking you, I'm begging you, I'm imploring you to please allow us to make decisions not based on emotion, but based on what's best for our children who we want in school. I know you as parents want them in school. And if that means a change in protocol for a short amount of time to allow some data to change, then that's the challenge that lies in front of us. And I hope that you can support me and the school district if it gets to that point. I will continue to communicate with you through this. You know that you can always connect with me as well. Again, we're really looking forward to having kids back in the building. Holy cow, it's a week away. We're ready and primed for your kids to come back. We appreciate your support of the school district and obviously the support of your children as we continue to move forward. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the week.